3 weeks ago, we were receiving record borrowing requests from councils. There was a lot of councils knowing that maybe, fee income is dropping and they needed to get more money in to cover that. So we've never had a month where we've had a higher amount of borrowing costs. LGFA was the first non-government entity, entity other than the government, to issue in New Zealand since the level 4 lockdown was imposed. For a while, investors were very reluctant to invest. It's just, they're worried even if we buy it, we won't be able to sell things. And there's just that whole risk aversion. But we had two developments. One was LGFA have a $1 billion standby facility from the New Zealand government that expires next year. But the Minister of Finance provided a letter to LGFA saying that the government would roll that over for a further period of time. So that support from the government was it's really symbolic to investors that there's going to be that ongoing support from the government for LGFA. The second thing that occurred is the Reserve Bank announced that they were going to buy back government bonds. Subsequent to that, they added LGFA to the list of securities that they're able to buy. So they signalled they'd buy back up to $3 billion of LGFA bonds from investors. And it was that really gave the confidence to investors that if we buy them, there's actually going to be another huge buyer in the market for that. So again, the level of support that we're getting from the government has been extremely important. There's going to be significant challenges for councils, particularly in the 2021 sort of financial year. I'm part of the working group that DIA are running, looking at doing a lot of modelling on council financial performance for the remainder of this year and next year, and that's feeding into a lot of the other government sort of work streams, such as the recovery sort of work stream. So there's some quite sobering reading come out of that. For Waipa, you're probably well positioned in terms of your debt levels, not high relative to some of the other higher growth councils in New Zealand. So yeah, there are a lot of challenges, and that's probably one of the challenges for us, is that potentially we're going to get breaches of the financial covenants in the next financial year, not this financial year. So to date, we've never had a breach of any of the financial covenants, but if revenue falls significantly for councils with a large amount of debt to start with, then they could well breach that net debt to revenue covenant. So that's something we'll have to deal with. But for those growth councils, one of the last tools they've really got is, having to cut their capex. And again, that's not particularly conducive to starting growth in the economy, and is working against a little bit of what the government